YouTube just released their AI Studio feature, which apparently is trained on millions of data points from the YouTube algorithm. So I asked it how the YouTube algorithm actually works. And the answers that it gave me were honestly really surprising, stuff that I hadn't even thought about being a YouTube strategist for the last 3 years. The first thing that it said was that YouTube doesn't start with your videos first. And it doesn't look for a set CTR or AVD. Instead, it just looks at what each person individually enjoys. That means what they actually like watching. So based on their history of videos that they've watched, which is the video that they are most likely to watch next. It looks at what they're actively searching for. So YouTube will actively recommend them content that they're currently interested in. So if you make content about topics that your audience is actively watching and searching for, it becomes much easier for YouTube to recommend your videos to that person. For example, recently I've been into running a lot, and I've been watching a lot of running videos while I eat. Now, whenever I sit down to have a meal, I always see that, oh, there's the perfect running video for me to watch while I eat. That's between 10 to 15 minutes. And this falls directly into the next point that YouTube says that context is key. The algorithm knows exactly what you are most likely to watch based on your device type, the time of day, and they pick specific videos for you based off of that. So on your channel, you can take advantage of this by making specific content for people that have specific interests at specific times. Even an idea like do this after your morning run would directly target people who just finished their morning run and are now settling into their day. In fact, I asked YouTube how I could best do this on my personal channel, and they said that most of my viewers like how-to content. And the main thing that they recommended I do is make more videos about how to get 1,000 subscribers. This goes directly in line with what my audience is searching. But they also mentioned that I've been doing a few things wrong, which came as a surprise to me. For one, my intros are too long. Right now, YouTube is really looking for a strong promise, but where I go wrong is I go and I explain what the video is going to be about a lot longer than I should. YouTube just wants a strong hook and promise, then go directly into the how-to. And this is actually a trend that we've been seeing across a ton of our clients. Those that have shorter intros around 15 to 30 seconds are typically the ones that are performing best right now. And in fact, YouTube recommends that I give the first tip to my audience within the first 10 seconds, which I plan to test out on my future videos, including this one. Then I asked YouTube exactly what they look for in intros, and they said something that I had never really thought about before. They said the average channel gets around 50% of viewers watching after the first 30 seconds. And then if you go above 60%, your videos have a much higher likelihood of going viral, which makes sense. And right now my average is around 57%. And the tweaks that they gave me are nuggets that every single one of you watching can use to improve your intro retention. They said the number one thing that matters is proof. Put as much proof as possible in the first 3 seconds of your video. Yes, you heard me right. The first 3 seconds. But don't only say that proof, you also want to show that proof. For me, that could be holding up one of my silver play buttons or showing a client channel screenshot that shows a viral video that we just posted for them. Which, by the way, if you want to become a client and grow your business on YouTube, then go ahead and check out the link in the description. The next thing they said was that instead of trying to differentiate my channel in the intros, I should just show a quick clip from the video about why my video is different. And this concept of showing over telling is so important. And it's something that all of us should be trying to do every chance we get. Because if your video is truly unique, you can show that without saying it. Now, one more nugget from the intros was confirming the click. Instead of just trying to confirm the click based off of the title, whereas if my video was titled how to get 1,000 subscribers fast, my first line would be I'm about to show you how to get 1,000 subscribers fast. Instead, the first line should be related to the thumbnail. So my opening line could be I got 1,000 subscribers in 30 days using a strategy that I'm about to show you in the next 10 minutes. That way you have the edit match the thumbnail. So it's a seamless transition between the packaging and the video in the first 3 seconds. They also recommended that I start making more short form content. Now, we have seen the YouTube algorithm shift to heavily favor shorts. I mean, if you look at the YouTube homepage, it used to only be long form videos. Now it's just a few long forms and majority shorts. And I completely agree. If I posted shorts, my channel would get a lot more views. I need to start doing that, but I haven't done it yet. But then I asked the AI about thumbnails, and I asked it, what are you seeing work best in thumbnails right now? And they said that the number one thing that they have identified is that outcome-based thumbnails with proof in the actual thumbnail work best. For example, on a video about running a sub 4-hour marathon, a thumbnail with someone crossing the finish line with a time 3 hours and 58 minutes and 59 seconds overhead is going to show the dream outcome of the person training for a sub 4-hour marathon, because it shows the outcome plus the proof of that thing being done. Now, YouTube told me to never make a thumbnail that says something like how to get views, even if that's what the video is about, because that doesn't show the actual outcome. Instead, it just shows views. But then they said that leveraging trust signals in your thumbnails is also very powerful. So using objects or symbols that your audience would view as credible. For me, that's stuff like getting monetized or using a silver play button in my thumbnails. But for you, that could be a 6-pack abs, a Rolex, or a perfectly cooked steak. But then it was time for me to see if I could swindle the algorithm into telling me its biggest secret. And surprisingly, it actually did. I asked it, what are the best ways for any channel to blow up right now? And interestingly enough, they gave me an answer that I haven't heard many people say. They said that blowing up a channel is not about viral videos, but it is about mastering a multi-format ecosystem. YouTube is now prioritizing channels that use holistically all 3 mediums of content: live streams, short form, and normal videos. If you can build a channel that successfully leverages all three of these mediums, then YouTube will heavily favor your channel, because right now shorts are the easiest way to get discovered. So if you can start to get a ton of views on your shorts, then build what YouTube calls a curiosity bridge over to your long form content, then you can link the shorts to the long form content and have a huge amount of people get sent over. YouTube wants to see returning viewers and you creating a community around your channel, which is why after having your viewers watch your long form videos, you need to start getting them onto live streams. And these are where the deepest connections are built, because those people are spending hours with you at a time while also still getting to interact with you. But then YouTube hit me with a new strategy that I think is genius, and that is making videos for micro struggles that your competitors ignore. Many viewers oftentimes have a lot of small specific problems that don't apply to everyone but still apply to a lot of people. This could be things like specific YouTube settings, or is this running shoe better than this running shoe for this person? The strategy that they said to find these different topics is to go through my last 3 to 5 videos and look at the comments. And I think another great way to find these would also be going on Reddit and looking through different subreddits that are inside of your niche, because these videos can be great for search traffic and they can consistently get a ton of views over time as people search more and more for them. And doing this strategy actually produced me my most popular video in the last 90 days. And that way you can get consistent traffic through search first, which allows YouTube to test your content on browse. Overall, I thought these answers were actually very insightful, and I recommend playing around with this on your own channel. But to actually implement all of this, you still need to learn how to make great YouTube videos, which is exactly why I made a completely free YouTube course with over 6+ hours of content showing you everything that you need to know in order to go from 0 to over 100,000 subscribers this year. We give away everything that you need to know completely for free. So go ahead and watch this video next, where I'll show you how to get access, what you'll learn, and how you can use the information inside to grow your channel past 100,000 subscribers. Thanks, and have a great one.